Hello and good day. Welcome viewers to Saturday Sports on NCBN TV Television. I'm your host Nigel Paul and we talk sports. Today we have an exciting episode for you. We are here with another national athlete, bright star of Trinidad and Tobago. She's represented the country for a number of years from way back. On set today, I have with me Miss Victoria Smith. I call her Vicky. I was given permission to call her Vicky. So Vicky, thanks for coming on to the show.
Thanks for having me.
How's life? I know you're a little nervous, so I'm trying to break the ice a little bit. You have been representing Trinidad for a number of years, and we've been on, both of us, we are I Choose Sports brand ambassadors, and I've heard you speak of women in sports in different schools that we went to and we've been to together. So I decided to bring you on the show so we could touch a little bit on that, a little bit of your career, and also women in sports. So again, thanks for coming. Thanks for taking the interview. So let's get into it.
Alright.
Alright, nice. So tell me, when did your footballing career begin? The start of that footballing dream or career?
Probably at the age of 10.
10?
Yeah, and funny story, my reason for starting, because I have 6 siblings. I'm the second to last child. So my older sister started playing, and then my younger sister started playing. And I just didn't want to be the odd one not playing.
Yeah.
And that's just how I started playing. And I knew, like, very soon after, my passion for the sport grew. Was very competitive.
So siblings, only sisters, any brothers in there? Or?
2 brothers, so 2 boys, and then 4 girls.
2 boys, 4 girls. Boys before or after?
Yeah, boys before.
So they don't play football or?
Nah, my oldest brother, he plays cricket. My second brother, he used to do martial arts. And then my older sister, she's a cheerleader, she doesn't play sports.
Okay.
My sister, who's right before me, she started off with football, and then switched to netball.
Okay.
And then there's yours truly, me.
Who's last?
Nah, there's one after. She's
for real?
Yeah, one after me. She's football as well.
So 6 of you, second to last. Same with me. I have 6 of us. I'm the second to last. I have 4 brothers and 1 sister. So you kind of have to be. But I am the only athlete, national in my family, playing any kind of sport at that level. So tell me a bit about yourself, like where you grew up or where you're originally from, like where your family from, that kind of thing.
So my mom is from Arima. Arima side. My dad is from Claxon Bay.
Okay.
I grew up in Freeport, Central.
How did that happen? They all move or?
I mean, they did a lot of moving before I was born.
Okay.
And after they had me, probably moved like 1 or 2 different houses, but was in the Freeport vicinity. So like I've grown up in Freeport for my life.
Okay. I'm seeing here that you played for Waterloo. You went to Waterloo High. Did you?
No, my brother did though.
How come you're playing for Waterloo? Is a club or is it?
Yeah, it's a club. Okay, so it's a club, but then there's also a school as well. So it's the secondary school, right? So it was tied in with the club. But we had training on Saturdays, and then we'd use the school for washrooms and stuff like that. So it's not really tied in. So my brother I actually went to American Ministries.
Really?
Yeah.
American Ministries, okay. So they don't have football at American, well, in your time. They didn't have a football side that they could play on?
My mom was my coach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, like, you didn't want to vibe, like,
actually, because when she started coaching, I was still in primary school.
Okay.
So my older sister was already at Miracle. So my mom was coaching when she was there. And then I went over, so my mom was still coaching, and then my younger sister went over.
So she was okay with you all going to Waterloo instead of...
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
She that nice or she was that mad?
I bet I wouldn't.
All right, so you played for Waterloo football team. Career-wise, outside of school, you play for any other local clubs at like at the club level in Trinidad?
At that age, no. So for me, it was just Waterloo and then straight into the national program. I started the national program pretty young. And I think probably in 2014, I played with one or two teams in the local league down here. And then for me, it was just playing abroad. So I didn't really play much football locally here.
Well, before we started your interview officially, you told me since 2015, 2010?
Yeah, I played in the World Cup.
Under 15 and all the way up to present day.
The seniors,
and you never play locally much?
No.
How, like women football is, because I understand the men have games and the men travel a lot. What about, like, for the women team, do you get, like, as much games as the male team at all?
Locally? No. Unfortunately, the women's league is just a couple months, maybe 4 months, if so much, out of the entire year. And usually there's a lot of start and stop or pushing back for whatever reason. But the women's league down here is not really recognized. So that was one of my reasons for not really playing in the league down here, because of how disorganized it was, and then the women really not getting the same opportunity as the men in regards to the local league.
I need to be careful of how I approach this.
Yeah.
Because I usually hear women say that a lot about sport. And again, I'm involved in sport and I haven't experienced, I mean, as athletes in Trinidad, we go through what we go through.
Right.
Obviously from, the other side of the sporting organizations and whatnot. But I don't want to call it complain. I'm looking for a word. But I know I hear this complaint a lot from women as in terms of equality and not being treated fairly or treated the same as the men. Again, for me, how much does that affect you as an athlete wanting to play for Trinidad?
A lot. And I'd say for me personally, being able to experience playing professionally at a high level, I was able to experience what it should be like.
Yeah.
And then going from experiencing what it should be like, then having to come back to face a situation, it was a drastic change for me. And it was a lot to deal with mentally.
Yeah. I think for athletes, especially at a certain level, when you go abroad or you travel and you train, your eyes open to a lot of things.
For sure.
And then you have people asking, you don't have that home? You only do that back home? And so, some of us, we say, well, yeah, because you don't want to feel bad.
Yeah.
And then some people are a little more brave and move. It's like, nah, we don't have that. So I could really catch where you're coming from. You spoke about playing abroad in like any professional leagues you played in. Like, how many leagues did you play abroad in your professional career as a footballer?
So I played in Iceland straight out of college. After Iceland, I was supposed to go back for a second season, had already signed paperwork, organized with visas and stuff, and then COVID. Couldn't leave Trinidad. And then as soon as the borders started to open up, I just got a message from one of my teammates that I played with in college, asking me if I wanted to go and play in Mexico. So I was like, okay, cool.
Mexico.
And I was actually the first female to play in the professional league in Mexico.
Oh, nice.
After Mexico, I went to Romania, played there for a bit, and last year I played in Canada.
Last year?
I think.
You sure? Last year?
I had to check. I had to ask Google.
I kind of, as we went out there on the school caravan, I hear you tell your story to the younger one. So probably last year, can I say, man? Contribution wise, you've been outside, you see what these bigger countries have to offer, and most of the time it's about funding.
Right.
But there are some cases where administration could do things. Now, I'm not trying to put any hot seat. Don't get me wrong, right? For you, experiencing what you experienced on the outside, did you bring any of that back to the team or to the administration? Offer some ideas that you can make like slight improvements for the team, being around that long.
Of course, so my biggest thing now is really about making things better for the upcoming players. Because obviously all of us have to retire, someday.
At some point, yeah.
So my biggest question would always be, okay, so what are you doing to make things better for those, under you, so that their journey may not have to be as tough as, yours was. So during camps and stuff, I'd always talk to the younger teammates and tell them about my experiences, offer advice if it is they want to take the advice. You carry the horse to the well, but you can't force the horse to drink. So I would always offer, advice if it is they need advice. Talk to the manager and they tell them, well, all right, like we need to make things better to make the players comfortable, so that way when we do go in camp, all we have to focus on is football and not the external matters.
Life happens, especially, and the way how things work out sometimes is only when you're outside the country, everything starts to fall apart back home. You need to sign papers, you need to call this one, always something. In terms of you guiding and mentoring the younger players coming up on the team before, who was the player that did that for you on the national team? If not more than one person.
For me, I'd definitely say my manager, Jo. She has always been one to check up on me, even while I was away playing. We tried to do things to make sure I was comfortable as possible. A really good friend of mine, Karen Forbes, as well, because she was in the system a lot longer than I was. So I think she started in the era where it was real. Now it's tough now, but when it was real tough.
Kind of coming into it.
So even in regards to like me going to college and stuff, I also had players and people guiding me. My junior college coach, Alicia Wilson, has been one of my biggest mentors till this day. She actually got my first contract for me to go and play in Iceland.
Okay.
She actually organized the contract for me to go and play in Canada. So I started junior college in 2015, and she has been an important role model from since I was in junior college till now.
That's excellent. It's always important to have people like these around here. Team-wise, kind of actually, I tried to center the interview around women and and a stereotyping. Please don't. But in terms of a team of women or females, is there any bickering?
Oh, for sure.
Really?
For sure. Yeah.
Does that affect the game or the play or playing of the game?
Not. It depends on the day. That's the best way I could put it.
Okay.
I think once you are around these individuals for a long time, you get to know the person. So it's like, all right, Vicky looking kind of cranky this morning, I will give her ease up.
Okay.
So it's just about knowing your teammates, knowing their triggers, knowing how to get the best out of them. But I know, especially with women, and women would know this, especially in a group setting. Once one of your teammates, time of the month come, it's everybody. So there's a whole bunch of emotions all over the place.
Okay,
but the biggest thing is just like knowing your teammates and knowing their triggers.
All right, nice. So we also come to the first break. Stay with us. We'll be back after these messages. Stay with us.
I'm Steve David, and I'm your host. Today I talk football as usual, and I have with me Linda Bramble, welcome to the set, Michael Ragunac, welcome to the set. Instead, George Jefferson, George Anthony Clark, welcome to the set. That's Dwight DeLeon. The president of the SSFL, Mariri Gonzalez. Mariri, welcome to the set. Leroy DeLeon, welcome to the set, Leroy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for tuning in every Tuesday night, and NCBNTT, thanks for the opportunity.
Hi, I am Nigel Coutier.
Hi, I'm Jemima Joseph.
And I'm Jovan Paul Edmond.
We are coming to a community near you. We're going to speak community talk. We want to hear your issues, your concerns, or what will improve your community.
Look out for us. We'll be coming soon, Nigel and myself, to your community to hear in whatever way we can do to improve your environment, be it employment, infrastructure, anything to improve your living as well as our own.
Catch us on NCBN TV television for Community Talk.
Trinbago Heritage, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on NCBN TT Television Network.
Welcome back, viewers. We're viewing Saturday Sports. I'm Nigel Paul. We're on every Saturday at 8 p.m. We talk sports. I'm here with Victoria Swift, Vicky, and we're talking a bit of her career as a national footballer. So, Vicky, I want to go into a bit of you being stationed outside of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm a big family person. I love my family. I love a family time kind of thing.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit of how you cope with being on the outside, away from your family for lengthy periods of time and that kind of thing.
I'd say for sure, when I was in college, it wasn't that bad.
Really?
Because college had lots of distractions.
Okay.
There were lots of things you could do to pass the time.
But college was the first instant being outside that long.
For that long, yeah.
And it wasn't that bad.
College wasn't that bad.
All right.
But as I grew older, so I have, let me see, I need to count this. This is about them at this point. Destiny Deal, Sarah Isabella. So 7 nieces and nephews. And there's 2 that I'm very close with.
Okay.
So as I grew older, coming back home and then spending some time with them. And then when it is time to leave, they're crying and asking when it is I'm coming back. I think that for me, that struck a nerve. So I'd say as I grew older, it became a lot harder for me to want to leave. I mean, I had to do it regardless because that's my job.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's only really so much you can tell a child about, what you're doing. Because, all they know is Auntie Vicky is leaving.
Yeah.
And
what a weeks.
Yeah, we don't know when she's coming back. So yeah, that made it a little tough for me to want to leave.
How old are they now?
Now, 6 and 5.
Yeah, you still. Because my niece, I felt that way about my niece, Precious.
Yeah.
As since she was born, she was always around me like a kid. In the morning, she in my room watching TV. I'm sick and tired of Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
I know all the Frozen songs. I know all the Moana songs. And then when she's 30 now, she's like, uncle in the country? I was like, yeah. Give me a hug. So like, yeah, don't worry. When they reach teenager, I'm going to be over there. You'll miss them days. But yeah, you'll miss home nonetheless. I think I remember in one of your talks at one of the schools that we've been to, that you say you had a serious injury.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about that.
So it was in 2012. It was an under 20 tournament that we were playing in. CONCACAF tournament. Playing against Mexico. Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually picked up 2 injuries in that game. 2. So the first injury, what it is I could remember, I was just running in one direction and I had turned and a girl ran straight into my nose. So at that moment I was seeing stars from one eye, couldn't see from the next eye. But at that age, because I was so determined, because I was so competitive, because I was so passionate about playing, you're representing the red, white, and black.
Yeah.
It's like, I went by the side of the kid, I was like, yeah, that time still not really seeing anything. Like, yeah, good. I went back on to play. 5 minutes after, I was running in one direction, had stopped to turn, tore the meniscus in my knee. Didn't know that I did. So that was in first half, played the entire first half. Went to the locker room. No, blood was still out. So I really wasn't feeling much. So after I was like, what's this? I was like, Went back on second half. So I played an entire game with a torn meniscus and a broken nose. But it was only after, when everything started to cool down. Was when the waterworks came.
Something tougher than the boxer, man.
A
broken nose.
Yeah, I couldn't move. And that was the first game. That was just
like pure adrenaline.
Yeah. So that was the first game, and I got right up to the rest of the tournament. We had 2 more games.
And how long that took you out of competing?
I was out, so I did the nose surgery as soon as I came back to Trinidad.
How bad was it?
It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Yeah. My nose is
crooked,
but not too bad now.
I don't see it.
Yeah, that. My doctor did well.
Oh yeah, you did a good job.
Yeah. With the knee surgery, even though I got injured playing with the national team, I actually had to do the surgery under my dad's health insurance, who was working Petrotrin at the time. So that took a little bit to do. So I was probably out for about a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was when? That was
2012.
2012. So that was under 17. Was at the time under 17.
Under 17, under 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
That age. So that particular injury, was it like a kind of career-threatening injury or something just that you knew that you could get over?
It could, depends on how it is you look at it. It could be a bit of both in the sense of if it is the rehab after was done properly, I would have been fine. Unfortunately, it was not. So for me, after that injury, it has really been, a kind of rocky road for me, ups and downs. Having to stay in the gym consistently. Lots and lots of rehab. I think at this point, I'm a certified physio without being certified. At this point.
I know your life. Because for certain injuries, just tend to pile up. You probably don't know. Trust me, because I always say I was one of the individuals who would bad talk athletes like, yo, Trinidad and Ames, we ain't good, we are nothing good. And then become a national athlete. And you have a sprain. And you have to run, lift weights, train, box. You have to jump, you have to do everything on that. and then God forbid you get some more, like worse, you still have to, because you have timelines to
meet, yeah.
So it's not easy. And then the mental side of it where you feel like, okay, I'm done because like it's not getting better.
Oh yeah.
Or I'm not making progress. And then finally being cleared and not being yourself at 100%, and then the whole country about talking like them not good. It's a lot to deal with. So I want to touch a little bit on the I Choose Sports. Going into the schools and speaking to young women. I know you have a passion for really seeing women in sports advance and everything.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit about some of the things that you say to them in these schools concerning sports and really making a career as a woman and some of the things to go through.
Well, firstly, before touching on to that, I'd say that has been something that I've always wanted to do. It was something that I've been praying for, I'd say, a year and a half ago, because I always knew that I wanted to give back. I just have a passion for, wanting to pour into people, pouring into the younger generation because they need it.
Yeah.
And something as simple as the I Choose Sport program that we have going on now, we didn't have that when we were their age. So me having the opportunity to go in schools to talk to these young ladies about sports and using it as an avenue, one, to stay out of trouble, two, to better yourself, two, to get out of Trinidad, to make something of yourself, and make it full circle, pay it forward, and give back again to those coming up after them.
Yeah.
So things that I would tell them, for sure, number one priority on my list, because I've been through it, your mental health. That's something that your peace of mind is something that you don't play. You don't play with. And sports is something that if it is you don't pay attention to it,
end up in problems. Problems. Yeah. That's true.
But yeah, my biggest thing for them is just using it as an avenue to become something. Especially for the naysayers. Like, nah, she can't do that. Especially, it happens to me all the time when it is I go to sweat with fellas. Nah, she can't play. And after the first tackle, whoa, she can play.
Yeah. I mean, I see it too, even in the schools where the young boys challenge her, like, nah, but she can play though. She can play. So, yeah, I see it. Giving back. I had Sidney on our previous episode, and we spoke about starting this foundation and giving back and that kind of thing. And I genuinely believe we as athletes who have the platform now should really and truly give back for real.
Yeah.
So I catch where you're coming from, and being involved in the I Choose Sports, has that sparked anything else for you in terms of project moving forward? No, I know probably have something planned. I don't want to talk about it, but in the general scheme of things, did it spark anything you to probably take it other stuff with that, probably like Marshall or anything like that?
So what I've started doing, and this is what I can't talk about at the moment, is that my big thing is bridging the gap between Trinidad and probably the US when it comes to scholarship and to schools, or even football in a professional standpoint, bridging that gap, seeing that, all right, I was the first female player from Trinidad and Tobago to play in the league in Mexico. For me now, I want to be able to help the younger players be able to achieve that same dream or that opportunity.
Yeah.
So what I started to do, so because I went to a junior college in the US, when I go to camps on the national team, and because they're starting to incorporate the younger players on the senior team, I would just scout. Look for players who may have what I know my coach is looking for. Because again, I'm always in contact with her. So she messaged me like, Vicky, like, I need a centre back. Or Vicky, I need a forward. I need a midfielder. I need a winger. I have coaches that I still stay in contact in when I played in West Florida who would also ask me for players.
Okay.
So what I try to do is give them that opportunity to go. First and foremost, I need to ask them if it is you're serious about getting an education outside.
Yeah.
And if it is you are, I would try my best, to help them get an opportunity to go to college in the US. Because I do believe once it is, and I can speak for my college, it's a college where it developed you as a player.
Okay.
So I know if it is I send a player there, they would definitely become a better player.
Yeah.
And in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, I would help Trinidad football the national team. In the sense of you get them out there, you get them exposed. So when it is we do have competitions or coming, they'll be able to come and give back or add some sort of value to the team and to the program.
Yeah. In terms of scouts, because I hear you say you scout personally. We have scouts in Trinidad for that purpose.
I am not too sure. Like I've heard about it here and there, but I've never really worked with any scouts locally. So like all the scouts or agents that I would work with has always been outside of.
But how often do we have people coming to Trinidad looking for players, if at all? Because
I know for a fact usually it's more so for the boys.
Men, yeah.
Boys or men. Never really much opportunities for the girls in that aspect. So like when I saw that, I'm not knocking at the boys or the men because that's just the way the world. That's how it works. So for me, it's like, all right, like this is the situation at hand. Like, how do we try, to make things better for younger women? And that's why I took it upon myself to let my coach like, hey, if it is you need players, let me know. If it is if you know of a coach that has a good program that would benefit the player, let me know. And I would do everything in my power to get them out.
So, you say about coming back and benefiting the team. You being a part of the national team, major success on the team. What was that? What event? What cup? What meet? What was your biggest moment being a part of the national team?
I mean, I had a couple. I'd say one top of my list would be playing in the Youth World Cup in 2010. Not much people or not much players could say, that they played in the World Cup, so that's one. The second one on my list would be when I made the senior team when I was just 16 years old. So at that point, I was the youngest player on the senior team. That was another big moment for me. Just being a youth player and having to go and play with players that I've always looked up to. I would say after that it would definitely be playing against USA, Mexico, Canada. So you hear players talk about like Alex Morgan or Khalil, I'm like, yeah, like I played against them. And be like, nah, you can't. And then I have to show them and pictures and be like, yeah, like, like I already did play against them.
The outside.
Yeah.
You spoke about coming on your team at 16. When you made it to the national team, who were some of the big names on the team at the time?
Around that time, it'd definitely be like Tasha St. Louis, Bailey Johnson, Akila Malone.
I'm a neighbor.
Serious? Small world. Yeah. So they were some of the players that I looked up to when I was young and upcoming on the national team.
She's like, Roxanne, do you think she's talking right? She's always so chill again. She's getting mad at me. Yes? I never see that girl mad. I don't know if it's just like catching she in the right time, but she's gonna be like, what you do you think? It's up with you. So it's like, yeah, she talk that.
Yeah.
You just talk. But so now that you are one of the senior players on the team, one of the players that the team will look to in that time, who are some of the young ones we can look out for coming up? If you can mention any of them.
But who I'm playing with now, I'd definitely say Talia Martin. She's actually a Tobagonian. She's one of the players that I'm organizing to go to my junior college.
Okay, nice.
I came across a player. Her name is Hakima. I can't remember her last name, but her name is Hakima. Because she went on our recent tour and she went to Curacao. And she was, in my board, the youngest player, on the team.
Yeah.
And once I saw her, striking the ball, and she was like, oh,
she
can strike at a young age. So I think those two for me, who have been around.
Yeah.
I'd say definitely two players that we have to look out for going forward.
Do we have scouting locally? I see recently I saw an ad where the national team calling for tryouts for the men. What about the women? You all have that coming up as well, or?
I have no idea. I guess you'd have to wait until TTFA makes a post about it.
Oh, they handle.
Yeah,
I mean, announcements and.
Yeah, but
so you all would know?
Not necessarily, no.
See, that's why I don't inside information yo, get ready, that kind of.
Come as you are.
I just say, but I think what Trinidad missing is that same that culture where we have scouts. Because I have family all the way up in Nyaro, Guaya.
Right.
We want to box, we want to do no boxing ring down here, no boxing gyms. There are footballers up on that side, basketballers. And we hardly find people from the town side going down there looking with all the big name sides. And we have talent spread across the country, but it's just for people to go out and actually find them and look for them.
Yeah.
And I think what you're doing makes real sense.
Yeah.
At least in for you and for your past college, you're opening doors and opportunity for people. And hats off for that. So viewers, we'll be right back after this break. Stay with us. Be right back.
Change on TV to the sound, boy, better stay calm, be cool.
Brother, before you could say Raja, but look at the way they put it here, and instead of me complaining, there's no chance for sitting. Everybody giving comment and we cussing the government. But it's we who throw rubbish on the street. It's we who does litter up we beach. It's we who does the garbage bin to put drinks to go when we bend in. And then it's we, brother, that us do these things. It's we who does cause the only sufferance. It's we who does fuss and complain. But I say, it is we to blame.
Welcome back, viewers. You're viewing Saturday Sports on NCBN TT Television. I'm here with Victoria Swift, aka Vicky. For people who should know, I don't want calling you Vicky. I think. Right. So Vicky, straight back into it. I want to go back a bit to your position on the field. For those of you who don't know, I'll try to highlight down to everybody know Victoria. Defense. And I saw some clips. And I was like, I was watching the clips. I was like, yo, you like this kid tackle people. I never see you do a stand-up tackle yet. You go into your right shoe. So what make you want to play if you chose that position? What made you want to play defense?
So initially I was a CDM, so that's a midfielder. Holding, so number 8. That's how. Because defenders do usually wear number 8, but I have number 8. I've always been wearing number 8. So I was a midfielder.
Any particular reason for the 8 or?
Real simple. I actually wanted 7.
Yes, reason.
So it was just number that I wanted.
Okay.
And then my roommate at the time wanted 7 too. So I was like, ugh. And then she got injured and I felt bad. So I was like, okay, I just take 8. Like, it's not that bad.
You're a good friend. If I had a number, my number would be 81. I don't know, I just want a real big number for some reason.
That's
but I don't have those numbers like...
Yeah, like when I was in Mexico, especially with the U team, there was like 99, 100, 101.
Like the kind of number, a real big number. 8 and 7, I don't think I definitely whole team. But yeah, defense. You know, I watch some of your matches, I see you play, and yeah, you can love down the back real. Is it because, could you attribute that to playing with fellas?
Yeah.
You tackle them, kill them real hard. I'll be like, yo. I know for boxing, right? Most of the guys, we don't miss female matches. Like we will, who boxing today? So and so, we good. But once the women fighting, we just go because these women move like they want to kill each other in the ring.
Yeah.
Like we just go all out for real.
Yeah. No mercy.
No.
None at all.
Okay. But now I asked earlier in the interview if you ever been injured. Have you ever injured somebody? Be honest.
The possibility is very highly likely, yeah.
That is not answer. Have you ever? Like while you're tackling?
Yeah.
Intentionally or?
Nah, never intentional with me.
Sure.
Nah.
You're going real hard on the kids. How much you like? Nah, I believe.
If it's alright, so if it is, I remember this one time in college, and the scouting report, the coach was like, this striker is real fast. She's really good. Just alright, Vicky. The match in that's alright. First tackle had to be sticky.
Right.
To either take out the game or slow her down a little bit.
Wow.
Right? Because that's something that defenders hate. Having a striker run up and down. That means you would have to run up and down too. So it so happened that my first tackle took out the game. It made my job a lot easier.
I mean,
we won the game.
Of course.
which was the aim.
Wow. But I can see the rationale behind. But in terms of now off air, talk about fighting and you tell me you're not a fighter and whatnot. Tensions on the field. Oof. Again, I find women to be over passionate about sports.
Yeah.
Like let's go all out for real. I see fights happen on the field with men. How fights on the field with women, that regular occurrence, or that's like few and
Yeah.
find? Serious?
Yeah.
Like for real, like just like you meant?
Yeah. Probably worse though. I think men are very dramatic, no offense.
I don't know how to respond to
No,
that.
men are very dramatic. It annoys. I get very easily annoyed
Right.
when I go to look at men play. Right?
Be careful.
This is just me being honest.
Right.
Right? And they get a tackle, but the person barely touch and like, ah! And then 2 seconds later.
But then not part of the game though?
Overly dramatic.
No, like, alright.
I'm not saying that it isn't, but
Right.
I think men are just overly
but you
dramatic
gotta sell
for
it.
no reason. Nah.
Yeah, like Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, these fellas, they're master the art of just rolling for nothing, just rolling. The referee had to blow the whistle to stop you. Stop.
Men.
So men do that.
I think we go all out.
So
Now there are moments where it is you hit them and but it has to be like a last resort kind of thing. It's never like a first instinct kind of thing with us.
I think I'm not bashing it. I want to, men, don't get me wrong, men bigger, faster and stronger. So like a little bump at high speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just trying to make it make sense because I find it nonsense. Like I play football, like regular light sweat and thing, and you know something like a man peg it really hurt. Like you know,
yeah.
So you on the big stage and a man peg, I fall on and rolling too. Women do that.
I mean, if it is just like again, unless you're dying, unless something is broken, unless you're bleeding.
Well, definitely not you because your nose was broken and your whole. Think you good, yes. But if you had to play a different position outside of defense, would you or
outside of defense? Yeah. So as I was saying, like before, like I was a midfielder, and playing midfield, obviously you have to have certain attributes, which is good in the air. You have to be quick. You'd have to be able to speed up the game, slow down the game. You'd have to have a good touch. Your range of passing would have to be good. And how it is, I ended up playing centre back. It was in my junior college career. So this was in 2015. So in 2015, the coach that was there, she got the job in 2015 itself.
Yeah.
They had a coach before, fired her last minute. Most of the players that were under her left.
Wow.
So then that's when they hired my coach. So she was just kind of trying to pull players from here, there, everywhere. If it is you can kick a ball, just come try it, you probably make the team. So there were at that time maybe about 6 internationals. So a couple of Jamaicans, my teammate from Bermuda, and then myself. So we were very thin in terms of player personnel.
Substitution
at that time, So when I went, I was actually playing in the midfield, and my coach was like, "We need somebody in the back. Think you'd be good there." She actually played centre back, so that's how she was able to kind of mentor me into going to play defense. So I played centre back for that entire season. And that summer, instead of coming home, I played in the WPSL with FC Dallas. The coach of that team actually coached the national team, so I was already familiar with him. But he did put me centre back, and I was nervous because, again, it's one thing to play in college. But then to be in that position, like in my mind, I was like, all right, like I need back now, I can't really make mistakes, but if I make a mistake, it could result in a goal. So I was stressed out. I was really stressing. And funny enough, that season, I actually made the All-Star team.
Oh, wow. Nice.
In the US. So I was like, it's not that bad. Went to finish off my last 2 years at the University of West Florida. Started off midfield. And then the coach ended up putting me as a target striker on the right-hand side. Never played striker in my life.
Okay.
Did score a couple goals.
A couple, how much?
Probably about 3 or 4.
Yes.
It was really more 40.
Not bad.
But his style was launch the ball from the back, run it down, cross it, score. Yeah. Okay. But the thing is, I didn't really like to run. So, in my mind, I was like, all right, you either take the ball down on your chest, or you have to run it down. Mm-hmm. And I remember one game in particular, the amount of balls that I had to take down on my chest was in real pain. Wow. After the game. So I played centre back, centre mid, target striker. Don't think I'd ever play striker again though.
You don't like the position or like the responsibility?
It's just not my cup of tea. Okay. Like if it is like a dire need, like we just need somebody up there, like okay, like I'll do it. Mm-hmm. But to say like, yeah, coach, put me on top, nah.
Just like the back.
The back or the
fence or the mid.
Yeah.
In conversations we had, he told me he was doing some work in some schools. Is it a couple of schools or one? In terms of like, is it physical education or coaching or?
So it's just basically teaching skills. Well, the past sem was just basically teaching skills, the basic movement. Mm-hmm. Because you know when we were younger, well, more you than me, but
okay. Again, old so I think that. Proceed.
We were accustomed, to marble pitch, catch and rescue. So all the basic movements that we naturally had it. Yeah, because that's how we grew up playing outside. Yeah. And I think in this day and age, because of the screen, children are always inside. They're not really outdoor. Yeah, right. They really like the outdoors.
Now you have me really feeling old because I agree with you. Because for real, like, growing up where I'm from, I grew up Enterprise, and we play everything. Yeah. Play football, basketball, cricket. Like, every day of the week was a different sport we play. Because the football will come out on Mondays, the basketball will come Tuesday, and everybody, a different game every day. And once you're close in the area, you play whatever people are playing. Right. And these days, like really and truly, some of them young children don't know how to run. It's like you can't
run. Yeah.
You can't catch a ball. I was like, how are you looking? Yeah. No, for real though. So like, what you're saying is true. Like the basic things that we're accustomed to: marble pitch, catch, high sky, even some like scooch. Because scooch just make you agile. They could time, change our direction, all them things. Like we play them things, like those things, and made us better athletes. Now
for sure,
these little children had to go and learn how to do them things, and we could like do that naturally. And it really make you think, where sports going, eh?
For sure.
Goodbye, Jan. So we winding down, and I like to play a fun little game. I don't think the interview is that bad. I mean, you started a bit nervous, so I see all smiles now, so I'm happy that, it's going. So we can play a game. All right. This is a game I like to play. Just call a word, and whatever comes into your mind, you say. It could be one word, or it could be a couple of words, or a statement, or a phrase, whatever. Okay. Ready? All right. For example, so if I say red card.
What I got while playing.
Why? Serious? Okay.
Twice in my life, just only twice.
Togs.
Nike. I only wear Nike cleats.
Serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. My boxer shoes like Nike. Okay. Fans. No filter, just say it.
Nah, playing in a big stadium.
Big stadium.
Yeah.
Okay. Family.
Love.
Women's sports.
On the uprise.
On the uprise. The choice I want to say. On the uprise. Trying to keep it. It's fair. Injury.
Determination.
Determination, I like to see that.
Mental strength.
Mental strength. Goal.
To give back.
Alright, it wasn't that goal I was talking about.
Oh, your next goal.
No, but that makes
I already scored that much though, so that's probably why.
Okay, I'll take that one then. Our whole set of answers are trying to keep it in football now. Kit.
Capelli.
Capelli? True. Are you red? What are you talking about? I can't have one of those different names, never like. I never have my size. It's weird. Achievements.
World Cup.
World Cup?
Mm-hmm.
You think Trinidad can take...
Nigel, you're going to go ahead.
I don't play the game, but something just come in my head now. So that's fine. Okay, that's fine. I did do. Probably one more. Life.
Learn.
Alright, that was good. The game done. I won because I have some questions to ask. We'll do that off air. So, is there anything you'd like to say to the viewers, to your fans? Any closing remarks, that kind of thing, to your supporters?
I'd just like to say, thank you for always supporting me from when I started playing to now. It's really heartwarming to know that I've had people have my back throughout my entire journey. So that's something I would always be grateful for. Well said.
Well, viewers, there you have it. We have come to the end of this episode of Saturday Sports. My name is Nigel Paul. You can catch Saturday Sports this and every Saturday, 8 p.m. Stay tuned. We have a lot of new things coming up, new look to the show. If you're interested in coming on to the show, you can contact me. You can contact NCBN TT Television. We'll put the information on the screen. It's always a pleasure to sit here with the national athletes and chop it up, get to know the athletes better. So I would see you next Saturday. Thanks for joining us.